Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's go for it.
Listen.
Lord.
First of all, you look lovely.
You look
okay.
lovely.
I see you New Year's Eve. Come on. In your December 31st. Okay. This is how you dress on December 31st.
I love it.
Come on, Coomba.
Oh, I'm so scared. Not cool.
What? It is
Come on, cool.
Happy Kwanzaa
To ya.
Happy Kwanzaa. Okay. Neither of us have ever opened a bottle like this before.
Oh, my God.
And so what I'm going to do...
We're going to break everything in... Oh, God.
Here it is. Oh. Cheers. Cheers.
I love it.
Glass for you.
Pour a little more in there.
I was trying not to have too many bubbles.
Okay, all right, I'll take it.
Don't have a full
glass.
Look at you. You're the one trying to turn up. You trying to turn up.
I'm trying to turn. I want y'all to see my whole look. Listen, look, I got this from I Am Danny J.
She's giving it to you.
Danielle is my personal stylist, and she likes to put me in pretty things, and so I'm happy about this outfit. And look at my bestie all dashing.
I don't know where this dress is from, but it glitters. It's shiny. I don't know if you can see it. It's got quite a split. We're going to try to just hold that down.
They want to see it.
It's not that kind of podcast, honey.
Well, it can be.
We're going to put it on OnlyFans.
What?
How did your podcast make so much money? We went ahead and took a different turn. You drink that before we toasted?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Such a lush.
All right.
Salute.
Salute.
Okay. What are we toasting to, though?
We are toasting to a new year and a new you.
A new year, new you.
A new
Got
year,
it.
new you.
Okay. All right.
What?
I love it. I got to figure out this thing. I want y'all to see my earrings. These earrings also bring me joy. They are from Joy Pop. That's JOYYYPOPPP. Another business that brings me joy. I just got all the sequins on today.
You better glitter.
You see me glittering?
You better glisten. Come on, chills. You better glisten.
All right. So I am Mari.
I am Kanika.
And we are the Joy RX.
Yes, we are using joy as a therapeutic tool. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about New Year, New You.
Yes.
I love it.
It's time for the New Year's resolution.
Yes.
Right.
We're going to talk about all of that today. Let's talk about this week's joy. This week's joy. Honestly, this week's joy for me was our first podcast.
Yay! That was a joy.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm starting to seeing your dream and something you've been thinking about realized. There's nothing like it. There's nothing
I know,
like
when you've been ruminating on something and then it comes
you just keep saying, we should do this. How many things have you thought about and said, I really should do this? And you just put it down. Yeah. And for whatever reason, you put it on the back burner, or you said, I won't have time for it, or I don't think it'll be well received, and you just try it. Yeah. Whether this sinks or swims.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And it might sound raggedy on y'all's end.
Listen.
But guess what?
Bear with us.
We enjoyed making it. we going to have joy in it.
We going to have joy no matter what happens with it.
There you go.
Come on.
Salute.
Salute again.
We're just going to be... We're going to be gone by the end of this thing.
That's okay. That's joyous too.
So yes, that was this week's joy. And then how about we start with laughter?
Yes.
There's something funny.
How about we start with laughter? So I know, listen, bear with me, Mom. I'm about to talk about my mom. I'm going to talk about I'm going to do this more than once. I love you. Deborah Bell, shout on out. Okay, so we went to one of those crab places, like Juicy Crab and Crab House and just whatever it is, Black Folk Crab, Stimulus Crab Legs Crab, whatever, them those places.
I got some in my refrigerator right now.
What? Because it's delicious.
I'm not playing.
Because it's delicious.
Oh my God.
Are you joking?
Okay.
If you have not gone to one of those places, come on, all the season, you just get a bag of seafood. It's in a bag. And just garlic butter and stuff just swimming around. However, these establishments, can we say, they cater to a particular population. Right, so we're gonna talk about Deborah Bell. This thing had me dying laughing. So we're in one of the juicy crabs. So my mother says, "Is there a wine list?" Already, I want to start laughing. She's talking about, is there a wine list? Our waitress, if she ever hears this, this is the most patient and wonderful woman that has ever existed. Okay. She was like, no, you know, like, just, I'm sorry, but I can tell you about wines. And she said, oh, here's my mother. Absolutely. So she was like, it started with that. That's important because that was on the wine list. She was like,
because you know who you're going to talk to when
they start with that smack.
Yes. And you know the wines you're about to hear
about. The wines.
Okay, Asti Spumante.
Come on. Well, first of all, Asti Spumante is, where do you get the ass to run down Asti Spumante? Right? This bourgeois princess over here. What? I'll open up some Asti right now. What? So she gives a good smack and says, so we have Moscato. Deborah Bell. Yeah. Did you? It's the subtlety.
I know she did.
And she was like, and pink Moscato.
No,
she said those are the two options. This is Deborah Bell. Those are the two options. We have a red too, like a sweet red. So here's Deborah Bell, like a Pinot, a Shiraz. No, it's sweet red, like a Syrah or a Cab. It's sweet red, and I'm reaching across the table. Mom, sweet red is what's written on the bottle.
That's what it's called.
It's called sweet red.
That's
By this point, I am crying, laughing. Anytime you're not supposed to laugh, everything is just so much more funny. When I tell you that waitress, bless your soul down at the Juicy Crab. But I tell you that she was like, no, that's what we have. She was going in the back and coming back, and I was like, we're going to have waters. That's what we're going to have. So then my mother finally was like, well, I'll have
the whitest of wines.
Listen,
this is what we're about to have.
Because she was like, but there's only, I was like, mother, we're having an experience. Yeah. Then when that bag of seafood came out, she was like, what do I eat this with? I said, with your hands.
Did she finally go in though? Did she go in when she went in?
I want you to know that we wrapped that crab up. She ordered something else that she didn't have to fight. She calls it fighting with. She said, I would like to have some food I don't have to fight with to eat it.
I know your mother did. I believe it.
You gotta just love them. See, that's the thing. You can either you can start having an emotional reaction to it, or you just be like, God love her.
Yeah, you just gotta love them where they're at.
You gotta love her
because you're gonna keep your joy. And so that's what you gotta do.
That was my joy.
Yes, you gotta love them where they are.
Watching her look at that waitress like this with her hands like this.
Yes, you have to.
Making that face when she said Moscato. I was like, so is there a Pinot? No, sweet red.
And
more of a
serious.
Syrah.
Yeah.
No, sweet red is the name of the wine.
Yeah.
Please stop taxing this woman. She has other customers.
Top in bold letters.
She has other tables. She cannot keep going over her wine. This is Moscato, pink Moscato.
That's what she meant.
Said, well, why would there be more than one type of? Please don't. Ma'am, we're gonna have water. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we're gonna have any utensils that you. I understand that people eat with their hands in here. If you can just bring out any kind of utensil.
How did you take her there?
For this,
I kind of have to wonder.
I don't know. She doesn't even use, the menus that we've been using since the pandemic. She instantly tells the host, "Bring me a menu."
Yeah,
I'm not doing that with my phone. No, I'm not doing that.
So I don't know what that is. What kind of sorcery?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
I get that.
Before I even sit down, I'll need a menu. Oh, the menu's I'll need a paper menu.
Yeah, yeah, I believe that.
I'm not bringing out my phone and trying to take a picture of this little odd shit. I'm not doing that. Bring me out a menu so I need my glasses.
She does that. Yes,
she sure does.
And we love her. And so salute to Mama Bell.
Cheers. This is neither Moscato nor something called sweet red.
All right. Well, let's dive right in because we are talking about a new year and new you. And what do we always do at the beginning of a new year? What do we do?
Those resolutions. We just resolving to be this morning. I'm going to lose 800 pounds by January 10th. So, no.
You are going to gain
What?
That's what's going to happen.
That's what really is a disappointment, because the way because you're going to start your diet on January 1st, you actually eat like a monster leading up to it. So that actually kicks in for the first like 7 to 10 days.
I never thought about that.
So it actually goes up. So you actually there's a disappointment
that comes. You're going to gain before you
because your holiday, it doesn't start, it doesn't come 20 minutes after it. It actually comes in those early days.
And
you
then
need to just embrace it.
You go so extreme at the beginning of the new year that you can't realistically. I'm going to eat carrots and lettuce up until 8 p.m. and then I'm going to have my first meal of the day. And then I am going to drink only water.
Hard-boiled eggs. Just 2 hard-boiled eggs.
Listen, no salt. I want you to know we go so far into it, and it's something not attainable. Yeah. We cannot master this thing, but we do this to ourselves every year. Single
businesses actually count on the fact that you will not stay committed to your New Year's resolutions. I asked one time at a gym that I was a member of. I finally canceled my membership because I wasn't going, because I was like, I'm just paying y'all every month. Like,
because you signed up on January 1st and by February 12th you knew this wasn't your ministry.
I asked, because the size of the gym, I said, is there a limit? Because I saw them just signing people up. They said no limit at all. I said, but what if they were like, doesn't matter how many people sign up. So what do you mean? You can't house that many. What if everybody comes on the same day? It will never happen.
It'll never happen.
They said it would never happen. They can sign up 1 million people at one location. They have no limit to the number of people, because they were like, there's no way that they're all going to show. In the first week or two, you have a little bit more people. They said, I was like, well, by February. They were like, by February. By like Martin Luther King.
No, I decided to start working out. I went back to the gym that I had a membership with for years. For years I've had this membership. First of all, I was so ostentatious with it. I had a membership to 2 different gyms.
You better get it. Just so when you were in one place, you could just pop in.
One had a pool. One was open 24 hours.
Come on.
I decided that I needed both of them, right? Finally got rid of one. And the second one I held on to. I went in there, and I want you to, they shamed me when I walked in. They said, oh, it says you haven't been here in 832 days. No, I'm not exaggerating. That's the number they gave me.
I didn't ask you how long.
And then when I walked out, they said, let's hope it won't be 832 days before you come again. I threw up the finger. Because it might be. That's my reality.
You just go shabby.
Let me be who I am.
They have I was like, but what if your classes get too full? They said, listen to me.
It'll never happen.
None of what you're worried. We don't have any of those worries. It is a completely money-making business.
Yeah.
Something like less than 20% of gym members actually go to the gym. Yep. Less than 20% of people who hold regularly, the membership go regularly to the gym. Only about 15% of people have a membership to any gym.
Personal experience.
Even people who've paid for personal trainers and things like that, still all that money just goes to waste. So that's something that we're going to talk about, today. What should we not make resolutions at all? Why are they so difficult to maintain? What is it even that makes us start to make them around this time of year? You can be a new you anytime you get ready. Why not July 3rd? Why not March 15th? Why not November 2nd? That I just wake up and say, you know what, today I'm going to get started. What is it about the new year? I've done it. I'll be honest with you. There is something about the closure of a year, and we get this idea that like this year we different. I mean, remember when 2020 ended?
Oh God.
And we just
the
had
year from hell for everyone. Yeah.
Right. And people had poor 2021. If 2021 was a person, you talking about somebody got pressure. 2021 was like, I'm still just a regular year.
And 2021
I
ended
still
up
got
being
alive.
The worst year of my life.
For many people, it's worse than 2020.
Absolutely.
Because the fallout of what happened 2020,
yes, it all came
that's
back.
when it was kind of, 2021 was a weird year.
But we were hopeful. We were hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think there's something about the year ending, and it makes you feel like I can start anew. I can be a fresh new whatever it is, January 1st of the next year. So we get excited actually about something different. I want to reinvent myself, which I can get behind. I love the idea of a new you and reinventing yourself. We just have to do it so it's in a sustainable and attainable way.
Yes.
right? I think what we do is come up with lofty goals. I'm going to lose 800 pounds by January 10th. That's not what's going to happen, right? I'm going to buy a new home. I have no materials for the new home. You know what I'm saying? By February 3rd.
I don't even have a bank account, but I'm going to buy this house. Do it.
But God, right? We just be like, just will say something. Listen, and God is like, can you save? You can start off by saving something.
Start.
So I will say this: New Year's resolutions can work, right? In psychology, when we're seeing clients, we often don't want our clients to get too wrapped up in, I'm going to do all these starting January 1st. I'm just going to be, what we want them to do is come up with operational and small goals that are reachable that gets them to the larger goal. Mm-hmm. Great. A house is what you're going for. First, can we start by making a budget?
Right.
How about we make a budget by January 30th?
Yeah.
Just make it. I'm not saying follow it yet. I'm saying, can you even get down on paper? Do you even know how much money you make and how much money goes out?
Right.
Nope. Let's start there.
Right.
Because
we got to figure out the house we can buy. Those very small things. Let's start there.
Right.
Yeah.
But those small wins is where the joy lies.
That is where the joy lies.
The joy lies in the small wins. If we're not careful, we'll ignore opportunities for joy because the big thing hasn't happened yet. Right? I did not lose 100 pounds. You lost 10.
I lost 5. Listen. Yeah, let's go there.
Celebrate those smaller wins. You changed your diet, period. You're sleeping better, and you pay more attention during the day because of that diet change, even if you haven't lost a pound. Stop and celebrate the process, the journey. That's what's going to make that New Year's resolution stick.
So, thinking about that, let's almost stop making these very specific goals for ourselves. And let's look at 2023 as the year we're just going to have more joy.
Whatever that means.
More joy. Yeah. That's it. So let's talk about what joy is, because we use this word. It's very large. It can mean all of these esoteric things, and we want it to be tangible for you. So let's think about what joy is. First of all, let's talk about what joy is, what joy is not. So joy versus happiness. A lot of people think that they are the same thing. It is not the same thing. Happiness is a feeling. So think about your feelings, happiness, sadness, when you're angry, those kinds of things. Feelings are things that visit you. They are things that kind of go through you. They come for a time, they go away. They can be changed and affected. Somebody else can affect how you feel in this moment, right? Joy cannot be affected in those ways. Joy is something, it's a level of contentment you just walk around with. You can actually be sad and have joy.
That's so good.
You really can. So you can mourn the loss of something.
Because sad is a surface thing. Remember, joy is part of your fabric.
Listen.
It's your DNA, it's your makeup.
And it's the thing that's going to carry you through those sad times. When we don't have the joy in our reserve, that's when it's so easy for us to be shifted into doing like these really radical things in a moment, because we just didn't have that joy to ground us. Joy is a state of being. So we have to understand that first. But then there are some other pieces so just like Kanika was talking about, how we do these kind of operational things, these smaller things that are going to get us to the larger goal, the bigger picture. There are smaller things that we can do with our joy. So there are things that we can just do daily that we can work on that are going to lead us to that place. So let's think about what just dropped.
My phone.
Oh.
I was about to just ignore it and be like,
what is in this house that is just dropping on? Who upstairs?
That's fine.
Hello?
If you have a ghost in here, I feel like that ghost has joy as well. But that put me off where we were. So you just gone.
I wouldn't be surprised if I did have one in here. At this point, with all the stuff that's been going on,
let it happen. Let it happen.
So thinking about, let's kind of name some of these things. Yeah, maybe we should have been prepared, but we.
I was,
all right.
but my phone fell. My phone fell.
Oh,
so you
well,
did
then
talk
you
about
go.
one. You talked about joy versus happiness, right? First of all, that was brilliant. The idea that feel everything changes, like those kind of superficial feelings. Those all change. That actually, you can have joy and the contentment in knowing this is going to shift and I'm going to be okay.
Yep.
I'm going to feel a little bit less happy sometimes. I'm going to be angry sometimes. That's okay.
And you're supposed to, because here's the thing. You really can't have joy without feeling all of your emotions. You really can't know what joy looks like for you if you haven't experienced sadness. You've got to be able to be. I'm telling you, you can't be. If you can't get angry, somebody. It's not realistic for somebody to just be. That's that toxic positivity that we're talking about. I'm just going to ignore everything else that's going on, and I'm just going to be happy. Bills won't get paid.
But it's okay to acknowledge that.
Relationships
and say,
won't be built.
There's a thing, and it bothers me. That's okay.
That's absolutely okay. You can do that and be in a state of joy. Yes. And so we want to make sure that you understand that as we're talking about joy, we're really not talking about going around and just being happy all of the time. No, that means that you get enraged. That means that you're upset behind things. You should be, because you can't have joy without the full range of emotions. So let's go through some of those things that you can work on that will lead themselves to joy.
Right. I have generosity and giving.
Okay. So generosity and giving, awe and wonderment. So just walking around in a state of just, oh my, look at that and look at how amazing it is, no matter how small it is, right?
I love awe and wonderment. Every time I drive home, well, they're tearing those trees down by where I live, but I drive in a particular way down and I pass all of these trees, and on many days, I just stop and go, really, Lord? Like, you know what I mean? This is what you did? Look at the colors. You ever just stop? And this sounds really corny. But you ever just, like, look at the sky or look at just a baby's face and be like, really?
Yeah. Or someone you love deeply and just,
is what,
my God.
The creation of it, just the simple creation of it. When you take some appreciation and let yourself be in awe, why do you have to win the lottery to be in awe? Do you know what I'm saying? You got to be a billionaire
to
before
think of the goodness that God does on everything. Yeah, that's a good one.
Why can't rain just amaze you?
I was just talking about how dry my grass. Look at God. That's a very real thing.
That's so good.
Okay.
All right. What do we have next?
All right. Savoring and appreciation. That goes with that awe and wonderment. So it's just really in the moment. You ever been somewhere? We do this as Black people all the time. You eat some, you get to dancing.
Oh my God. It's my compliment.
This meatball.
It's my compliment.
Yeah.
If I stop talking, I'm no longer in conversation, and I'm just over here like.
No, I'm gonna tell you what Kanika does. This is how I know something is good. Kanika has to stop and just. She has to pause you for a second. She has to be like,
oh God, y'all just gonna act like this. Hold on.
And then she does. It's a whole.
It's such a.
It's the mean. It's the.
You know me so well. Oh my God. Listen.
But she does it with every bite. It's the and she's in exasperation. Just she takes another. This is the 17th bite of the meal, and she'd be like,
still.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm shocked by how good something.
That's savoring and appreciation.
Oh,
yeah.
Just to provide, but you have to take time for it. That's what I'm saying. You have to make time for it. That really is. I mean, this is, we're not just whistling Dixie here. If you've heard anything about mindfulness, it's like the hot new therapy. I am a big fan of it. Just literally clinically, as a doctor who performs those services. Honestly, it's one of the most brilliant therapeutic techniques that has ever come out. Stop for a second and be in the moment.
Yeah.
Stop for a second. That's
big.
Really where the joy is.
Yeah.
Spending too much time worrying about the future breeds anxiety. Too much time kind of reflecting over what the mistakes you made in the past breeds depression.
Yep.
And for I tell clients, let's just practice. I just want for 5 minutes. I want you, don't eat lunch at your desk. Don't eat lunch while doing like 70 other things. Just sit for a second. And again, I say 5 minutes because you got to start small.
Yeah.
and just focus on the chewing.
Get into this tomato.
Get into
You've never had a tomato this
Get
ripe.
into it. I do that while driving. One, I'm not a big fan. I don't like driving, right? So I don't do a whole bunch of stuff while driving. I'm not looking at all that stuff. I choose music and go in. If I'm one of those people you drive up next to and be like, really? Really?
Listen.
You doing a whole dance? You going to do the whole dance to Poison while you driving?
Join in with me.
When I tell you I am blowing,
what?
I can hear the choir in the back seat.
Okay.
When I tell you I am soloing up in front, what?
Mm-hmm.
But that's me savoring. That's my moment.
Yep.
That's my moment. I'm not going to spend my whole shower practicing conversations that are going to be difficult for the rest of the day. Let me just enjoy this shower.
Yes.
Water is warm and it feels fantastic.
Yes.
Savor these moments. Don't spend all the time that you have with your children thinking about the next thing you have to do. You'll blink and they'll be old.
Listen, when I tell you I've tried it, and I know that 22-year-old was a year old yesterday. This morning.
Yes,
she walked.
Literally.
That's right. Okay.
And now you're like, can you come pick us up?
Well, please come get me in your car that you pay for. Please. All right. We also have, this is big for us, humor and amazement. Not amazement, but amusement. Amusement. Humor and amusement. Just finding the things that make you laugh. Whatever does that for you. Like, it doesn't have, no one else has to
have it.
Find it funny. There are plenty of things. I have friends that look at me and be like, okay, that tickled you, didn't it? It did.
I'd be crying.
I went in.
I'm not afraid to laugh by myself either.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, other people don't have to join in
at all.
Because the humor is your own. It's your own ritual. I really think that's an entire joy ritual. We can do an entire something on laughter.
Yes.
I don't let 24 hours go by without laughing myself to tears.
Yeah.
Purposefully. Yeah. So like if it's 10:30 p.m., I will look for something.
And we have laughed until we are in pain. I have begged her.
Listen. No.
I
have begged this woman.
I have
stop.
asked her to
she
stop. I did it yesterday. I was like, please.
That time
with the anaconda. Listen, I have begged her. Please, I cannot breathe. I just want you to stop.
That's how you thought the concert.
Oh my God. The concert was on the 9th floor. In Schuster and Walling. What are you talking about? Listen, the stories that we have.
And I literally said to her, I'm hurt. You're hurting me. Don't you care?
And I was serious. Like there was nothing about me.
I am on 15th and Peach Street asking other people, please make her stop being funny.
And I meant that.
Right now.
I meant to and then texted her the next day like, sent her a news article. I keep it going. That's the other thing. You know what's really fun about us is we can pick up a joke in the middle.
Take it all the way down.
It doesn't. And we discussed it last week, and then we will bring up one word from it and go in all the way. Yes.
But that's because you got to submit to humor, right? You really do have to. You have to submit to it. You have to allow it to be part.
You have to.
Allow to be part of something. I was in a slightly heated discussion, but if this person is listening, I'll be like, don't be talking about me on your little podcast. I was like, we're in a slightly heated discussion, right? And he was saying,
shout out to you, Reynaldo.
Right,
Reynaldo.
He was like, I feel like you don't take things seriously, when you laugh like that. I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep it really 100 with you. Bringing levity to the situation does not mean I don't take it seriously. In fact, I want to remain pleasant and present. I'm going to you're going to shut down. I'm going to shut down. If this starts to get too ugly, we could do irreparable damage to the relationship. It'll save your whole relationship.
You know what?
Sometimes when you're going back and forth, just laugh at it. Sometimes
I'm not going to say
his
name. I know he's going to know. He's going to know I'm talking about him. When we would get into, we got into an argument one day so bad. And I was just in the car.
What was that?
That
was the noise you made?
And
I wouldn't like that.
And this fool started playing music. And I turned to him. He was playing Anita Baker, I Apologize. I went in. I could not contain my anger.
He was
Listen,
communicating.
and was just looking at me. I apologize. Honest and true. That did it for me. I have been arguing with someone. You know how I love my Ready or Not. I have had a man be arguing
a lot of things.
Listen,
After 7 isn't one of them.
oh my God.
After 7.
Ready or not. Hey, I'll give you everything.
Ooh, baby.
And more. Listen, I will go all the way in. Oh, listen, I have to stop myself. I got to bring myself back from that. But he played that. I want you to know, mid-argument, he just boop.
Yep.
And I lost it. And went fully into the song.
Oh, you lost into the song.
And I could not stay angry. You have to find the humor in things. Sometimes that thing will snatch you up out of whatever it was that you were about to go through.
In the moment, things sound like they are absolute live or die experiences. Many times when we are going back over those arguments, we don't remember what it was. Not only was it not essential, it's not even enough to remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to.
So don't injure each other in that space. Ooh. Some stuff is just, decide to find that funny. As people are preparing for the holidays, people are like, now, if I get to, and my auntie asked me why I'm single, why don't you just find your auntie funny? Well, she shouldn't get to talk to me. You gonna change your 75-year-old auntie? Is that what you gonna do? You gonna go to Thanksgiving and cuss your auntie out over this macaroni and cheese? That's not what you gonna do.
Right.
So you know what you gonna do? I didn't bring nobody. In fact, next year I'll bring 3 dudes, auntie. You so crazy.
And keep it pushing.
And keep it pushing.
Keep it moving.
Why auntie got to take your joy because she asking the same questions? I just get tired of her asking. Okay.
Right. Find the humor in it.
Find the humor in it. She is 75.
Just look at her, shake your head. Oh, auntie.
Oh, auntie.
You ain't got no other questions.
You ain't got nothing else. Listen, let me ask you something. Let me ask you some questions. You meet somebody? You single too? My husband died 25 years ago. Let's meet you. Let's go on our time.
Let's you and me go to the club.
Let's go. Yeah, I'll both go our time, and we'll find somebody. Just decide that there's humor in it, because there is. Everything is not something that you have to just fall apart behind. That's absolutely true. Don't give your joy away.
Don't give it away. All right, another one.
Yes.
Patience and endurance. We give up too easily. We give up on people far too easily.
Yeah. We give them ourselves too. I mean, I think that's where we get it from. Because when we get frustrated with everything, we'll be like, I guess I won't do this. You know, when you ever ask somebody, whatever happened I thought you were going to graduate school. I mean, the thing that like talked you out of going was like, I didn't want to do the 3rd page of the application. You know what I mean? It'll be, and we're so used to just quit it. You know what I mean?
Or if we can
do that to other people.
To perfection.
Now that's it.
If we can't do something at the highest level, then
I'm not going to do it at all.
Then I'm not going to do it at all. That's why you didn't lose them 800 pounds by January 10th.
Because you couldn't be satisfied with 20 pounds.
You couldn't be satisfied with, I'm just going to put down sodas and just drink water. Like, because we won't start small. And that's what, you're absolutely correct. We do that to other people too. He don't love me the way that I deserve to be loved. But he just came and he picked you up when you needed a ride. And
did you communicate how you deserve to be loved?
Well,
do you even know what your love language is? So
patience and endurance. We got to get it. We got to be able to hustle through a thing. You know, I've seen this when I with students, is that we always talk about we have to keep helping them build their stamina, because we've created a world where everything comes at them fast. They don't have to wait in line to buy the newest album like we did standing at Tower Records at midnight waiting for Lauryn Hill's album to drop.
We don't even let the microwave finish. It's 5 seconds left. We talking about I want this right now.
That's real.
We have 5 seconds left.
If a child today wants to see a movie, they go somewhere, they stream it, and voila, we used to have to go down to the Blockbuster. Please be kind and rewind. You had to go in there,
and then it wouldn't be in there,
and it wouldn't be there,
so
and
you
you'd
have
have
to
to wait, and you might have to schedule when you came back that you would come when someone would return theirs.
You went and got a newspaper to find out when the movie was. At the show.
This is what I'm saying. We have just done away with patience and endurance.
Instant gratification.
That instant gratification, and so we are not practicing that. And so it's so hard for us to do. But if you just had a little bit of that, it would contribute to your joy in immense ways. Yeah. Every day of your life, it would just be, well, I got to wait 20 minutes for this pizza. Well, I guess I better stand here and enjoy it. Let me go find somebody I can call real quick for 20 minutes.
Or so just that sit there, put a puzzle
why
together.
is it going to take 20 minutes? Instead of doing all of that, let's just have the patience and the endurance to get through it.
But that would affect your child rearing. I mean, I think for people who are parents, I think for how you respond to your coworkers at work, I mean, it's huge.
It would just allow us to give ourselves grace. Mm-hmm. That's really
all it is the giving of grace.
Yeah, that's all it is. All right, security and confidence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big one. So I think probably because I've heard this a lot of people see me, they say, oh, you're so confident and you're so secure and you're so, yes. And I also have insecurities. We all do. It's just not letting those things take us over.
Yeah.
It's not letting them just derail everything that we're into for the day.
Really, bravery, that's actually what it means to be brave. It doesn't mean that you're not afraid. It means you go anyway.
And you
do it anyway.
Be scared and do it anyway.
Those speaking engagements, and I was like, oh no, I'm nervous every time. I sweat like every time. I'm sweating now in this dress. I'm saying every single time. Teaching class almost every time, and people are like, you got to be kidding. You just get on like you're just on stage. I just go anyway. It's not that I'm not afraid. I just go anyway.
Right.
And I think that's the part. We wait until we're not afraid anymore. Yep. You're gonna wait till you're not a human.
Right.
To do something?
Mm-mm. Right. Okay. Another one, pride and gratification. So just what are the things, and again, this doesn't have to be big. What made you proud of you today? What is the thing that you did that you finally accomplished that you've been wanting to, and you did it, and it could be something small, y'all. 3-year-olds get excited about tying their shoe.
Listen.
And that thing, and we all clap, and we ready to put on a parade for them. Why can't we do that for paying our car note on time? I did it this month, y'all. Yes. Let's celebrate it. We just gonna have pride in it. All right. Gratitude and Thanksgiving.
Come on, Thanksgiving. Soul holidays. Remember they talk about all the different holidays? They just throw Thanksgiving in there.
What are you doing right now?
Sounds of Blackness. No.
What? That's a song?
Soul Holidays by Sounds of Blackness.
No. It's like, how should you have a song about Thanksgiving?
Holidays.
I've never heard that a day in my life.
Oh my God. So Sounds of Blackness they talk about Christmas, Kwanzaa, the New Year's. They be like Thanksgiving. And just like the whole song is about families gathering and stuff like that. Like why we love the holidays.
Okay.
So holidays. We got to ask permission for them to play it on here.
Listen, we ain't going to do it today because I ain't got the money for it. All right. Kindness and courtesy. We were just talking earlier about when we're driving. I will never understand. I have a friend who, and I posted this one day on Facebook, and a friend responded, and he was so proud of the fact. He was like, that's me. I ain't never finna let you in. Sir, why? Why not?
I'm trying to see where the benefit lies.
Where?
When people have been saying that a lot, like kindness costs you nothing, right?
Not a thing.
It costs so much to be unkind. I have to go out of my way to make sure that I'm bothered by something.
Yep.
Why?
I was driving the other day.
So essential.
And someone was trying to get in. I didn't see her. I genuinely didn't see her. And so I just kept driving. And so by the time I did notice her, she was cussing me all the way out. And because she was so enraged by this, she ended up speeding up and hitting the car in front of her.
You got
because she was just
it was just enraged instead of just being like, so what? The difference, the inches of another car being in front of you.
I'm telling
and
you.
You argue. Folks will be like, I'm not going to let nobody's going to get over on me. But then they do get over on you because they've owned your emotions. You so busy like, ain't nobody finna play me. What you're afraid of has happened.
It makes you feel better
now they are
kind.
controlling.
Yeah.
Listen, it's freeing to be kind.
Yeah.
It's freeing. I'm not going to hold on to what you're doing
To
and
hold
let
the
that
door open for someone.
come on.
To say thank you when they handed you something. You just the tiniest ways that we could just be kind will add to our joy.
Changed. And I actually think, again, these are our lofty visionary goals, that people pay that kind of kindness forward. Right?
Absolutely.
I was helping so many women, you know what I'm saying? I just went through helping like every woman that I encounter, I feel like, when I was in the airport the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like there was this woman who couldn't hear the TSA person, and I was like, hold on, she's not trying to ignore you. She can't hear. And I was like, I'm fine in terms of time. I was like, let me say it back to you what he's saying about you going to take you don't have to take your shoes off, because I believe she's over 75.
Yep.
So I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It
What did
takes
that
nothing
take?
away. It
This
absolutely
one woman couldn't
adds.
get out of her row on the airplane. She needed to get her bag down. You know, when no bag is behind you, that's the worst thing in the world. Nobody was, not only were they not going to help her get it down, nobody's going to let her in. What?
Why?
We're all frustrated trying to travel over the holidays.
Right.
I said, ma'am, I'm about to hold the line. Y'all will be okay.
Right.
And we're going to get this bag down so you can get off this airplane. You've been standing there waiting. It costs nothing.
It costs nothing to be kind. I
to
promise
do that.
y'all.
And it boosts your own joy.
It really
When
does.
you at the end of your
do
life.
it enough and you'll see it.
Yeah. At the end of your life, very few people say, I'm so glad I ain't let no sucker ever, you know what I'm saying, try to play me. That is not. Those are not your final words.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine? Also on your deathbed, you don't say, I really wish I would have worked more. People don't say that either.
Oh, no.
But the way we operate,
that's how we operate.
we think that's what we're going to
operate.
celebrate about ourselves at the end of our lives. It's not.
All right, the next thing, health and wellness, just in general, just being healthy. I am telling you, of course, because I mentioned I had the pulmonary embolism last year. There were just things that I had to shift and change in my life. And of course, my situation, that happened to me because of some medication that I was taking. So, it may not have necessarily had to do with other things. But of course, I realized that I could be better. And then I started to realize, as I started to make those small changes, just how freeing it is to really take care of yourself. When you just naturally start to eat better, you go to bed at a decent time.
Listen,
you're not staying up with
just
heartburn. All of
Go lay
those
down.
things. Just to get out and walk, it really does something for your spirit. So when you're thinking about joy, you cannot be a person in joy and just ignore your health altogether. It cannot work. So thinking about health and wellness, connection and belonging, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I actually think I'm not sure you can have joy without it. I know that's popular to be like, I don't have friends, I have associates. I'm always like, that's so sad. You really said that like that's your crowning.
I don't trust women. You are a woman.
You're a whole woman though. That sounds terrible. You know how females can be.
I'd rather be in the company of men, but you're not a man.
So all women, that would include you.
You're not connected to yourself, sis.
How odd. And I mean, I think you got to have that. Can you imagine? Something
I
goes down in your life and you have nobody that you can just call and be like, hey, get here.
My
Come
sisters
now.
absolutely carry me. If I did not have the friendships, my life would be changed drastically. The people that I have in my life, and I'm even going to take it a step further. I allow for connection in strangers. I can meet someone and they can become my friend immediately. But that goes back to that kindness. Be kind to everybody so that you're opening up the possibility for there to be a connection between you.
You never know how meaningful that
never know.
Never know.
Attitude and mindset. That's a big one. When we really dive into that, that's going to be a big one.
That's going to be heavy on technique. You know what I mean? Because I do think we've got to give some real strategies about, because shifting one's mindset is a very difficult thing to do. You know what I mean? Your attitude and your mindset has been taught to you. It's generational.
Yeah.
It's adaptive in some ways, right? And so to shift that is more than a notion.
Absolutely. All right. And then finally, and this is whatever this means to you, but soul and spirit. So whatever is your relationship with, even if you don't have a relationship with God per se, or you call it something different, even if you just understand that you're part of the larger one
system. Yeah.
Fine. But your soul and your spirit has to be fed in order for you to have true and full joy. So we want you to be reflective since we are starting this new year. We're not trying to look at all of the things that we want to change about ourselves. Right. We're not trying to think about what is every specific thing that I've said all these years that I want to do this and that. No. What we are saying is think about some of those things that we've named very specifically. What's the one that you would like to practice in this upcoming year? We're going to talk about them individually, all the different pieces, but we really want you to think of how can I be better? Which one of those areas could I affect my joy? Okay. So we do not have any stories for our joy journal outside of the ones that we come with on our own.
That's okay.
So, thinking about the past year, 2022, describe a moment last year that you absolutely adored. Any moment.
Gosh, there were many. I'm going to tell you that there were many. There's a way that, I think my daughter's awesome. All the time. But she's in like 1,500 like activities and things like that. And she just really surprised me, seeing her be confident and just do things with pride, not always doing them perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, she's not a master dancer. She's not, you know what I mean? But she just got out there. She was just like, I'm going to try it. You know, she's at her little belt ceremony, just, and I was like, wow, this is what you do? Like, I hadn't really seen her grow into that person who's just confident to do it. She failed at some things. Well, I won't even say failed, that she had areas for improvement, and then areas where it was easy to her and she soared, but she got back out there. To see her just have that grit and get back out there. And for her to say to me, well, I'm just like you. And she started calling herself KJ, Kanika Jr. And I was like, oh, all I want to do is be some sort of role model. You know what I mean? I don't believe that you raise your children by yourself. It's a village. It's a whole, you need a nation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I raised my child in connection with many, many, many people. But to hear her say, I went out there and tried those things because I feel like you do things like that. That was a very special
it means
and
she's
a prideful
watching.
moment.
Yeah.
She saw me finding joy in just trying stuff, taking some risks, and then she did it herself. And that was special for me.
Well, my joy journal moment is similar. It's about my daughter. I have watched her really, thrive was my word for 2022. I think my child absolutely did that this year. She had gone away to college. She had gone to a school that was really rough for her. And she decided on her own, which I was really proud of, to apply to a school here, to come back home. And she decided to do it on her own. She even, she was toying around with what she was going to major in. She decided to shift at the last minute because she had listened to the wisdom that I had given her on some things. And she then, I'm thinking back on like the first day for her, the first semester for her back in August, and she got in the car and she was crying all the way home because she's fiercely shy and she struggles to like meet new people and make new friends. And then to see where she is now at the end of that semester, and she got some of the highest grades in her classes, and she really found her groove and her voice and all of these things. And so I'm really proud of, and it happened in such a short time. So just watching her this semester, that was really my moment for 2022 that I'm going to put in the Joy Journal. So,
well, here's to a fantastic 2023.
Salud.
To us and everyone out there. We're going to have some more champagne in here.
Yes, we are.
We're going to end this podcast, but we're not going to end the party. We're going to touch it off a little bit.
Okay.
Top it off a little taste.
All right, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.
So